Good evening, my dear friends. Friends, I have very good news to share with you. An important and exciting day is coming up very soon for hundreds of thousands of Americans. More states and cities have finally decided to send out direct relief to their residents. Lawmakers have also unveiled new arrival dates for the next wave of stimulus checks. Friends, do make sure that you watch until the end of this video, because I will be sharing with you everything that you need to know about this legislation. Also, I will be giving away 4 $75 Walmart gift cards every week. Please make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. During the months of October, November, and December, I will be surprising several of you with $200 gift cards. It is my way of saying thank you so much for joining me here every day. To help taxpayers grapple with a bumpy economy, state governments have finally decided to continue to send income tax refunds and stimulus checks. Californians began receiving inflation relief checks of up to $1,050 this month, and eligible residents of Virginia are expected to receive $250 rebates by the end of October. Massachusetts is giving back nearly $3 billion in tax revenue starting in early November, while refund checks of up to $800 will be sent out to California taxpayers later that same month. So, dear friends, I know many of you are wondering whether your state or city will be sending out a rebate or stimulus check. So here is the new information on the new relief. In Colorado, millions of direct payments have been sent out to eligible taxpayers since last month, but more are coming out in the next coming weeks. Individual tax filers are receiving a check for $750, while those who file jointly can receive up to $1,500 in tax rebates. The residents that filed for an extension can expect their check to arrive before January 31st, 2023. The Colorado Department of Revenue reports that over 2.4 million payments have been sent out, with many of them being sent earlier than they had expected. Till this moment, around 87% of the expected payments have arrived to the taxpayers. That is a little over 2 million of the ones already sent. The Colorado Taxpayers Bill of Rights requires that the state return to taxpayers any leftover state revenue. Delaware Governor John Carney also signed House Bill 360 that will send $300 indirect payments to all Delaware taxpayers and adults. The bipartisan tax rebate legislation, which will provide a total of $600 for married couples, is intended to help counter the impact of inflation on Delaware families. These checks will be issued to residents of Delaware who already filed their 2020 personal income tax returns. Delaware Carney said in a statement, "Delaware families are dealing with higher costs at the grocery store and at the gas pump. Every taxpayer I've ever talked to expects us to manage their money in a way that's responsible and sustainable over the long term." These direct payments to Delaware families are part of a broader, responsible budget proposal that will invest in education, our economy, and Delaware communities, and also increase our reserves to prepare our state for the future. U.S. states, including Florida, Indiana, Illinois, and New York, have already begun to send out new inflation relief payments directly to their residents. Also this week, a group of Wisconsin taxpayers asked the Supreme Court to block the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness program, while an appeal plays out in a lower court. The emergency request comes shortly after the Biden administration began accepting applications for the program. The challengers are the Brown County Taxpayers Association. The group has urged the court to rule that the president's nationwide debt cancellation plan illegally encroaches on Congress's exclusive spending power. They said in an official statement, "We are witnessing a gargantuan increase in the national debt, accomplished by a complete disregard for limitations on the constitutional spending authority. President Biden announced in early August that his administration planned to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt for those making under $125,000 a year, and $20,000 for recipients of Pell Grants, which assist students from lower income families. The White House said its policy is authorized by a 2003 federal law known as a Higher Education Relief Opportunities for Students Act, which both the former and the current administrations have drawn up to enact student debt relief policies. In a lawsuit filed in federal court early this month, the Wisconsin taxpayers argued that the HEROES Act does not authorize Biden's debt cancellation policy, which the Congressional Budget Office estimates will cost about $400 billion over the next 30 years. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on student loan forgiveness? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Well, my great and dear friends of mine, thank you so much for joining me here today. I greatly appreciate all of you for watching my videos every day, and I truly hope that you found some of this information helpful. Please remember to enter the next Walmart gift card giveaway simply by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you, my friends, and have a wonderful and blessed day.
Inflation is crushing Iowans and the American people. And it's not just gas prices. The price of groceries and school supplies continue to rise, hurting our families just as children are going back to school. But instead of addressing the rising cost of everyday goods, Democrats in the Biden administration continue to push for more legislation that will make these problems worse. The Inflation Reduction Act, which I like to call the Income Reduction Act, did nothing to help Iowans who are struggling to make ends meet. Instead, several $100 billion will be spent to fund partisan pet projects like doubling the size of the IRS. And less than 2 weeks after the Income Reduction Act was signed into law, President Biden announced his student loan forgiveness plan, which will cost hard-working Iowans and Americans even more. We need to increase domestic energy production to lower energy prices and curb our dependence on other nations, and we need to enact policies that allow Americans to keep more of their hard-earned paychecks. Inflation, unlike what you saw this weekend on 60 Minutes, where it was poo-pooed and downplayed, inflation is an issue every single American is facing right now. And the Biden administration has made it abundantly clear that fixing the problem is not a priority.